Welcome to our channel Valuable Coins All World. In this video, I gave you information about United States of America Washington quarter dollar, which are most valuable and rare. If you interested, please see this full video. Thanks. Top 1. We're diving into the world of the 1993 Washington quarter dollar. It may look like just another dime a dozen quarter, but there's a surprising amount of value packed into some of these coins, and trust me, this one is no exception. The Washington quarter, a staple of U.S. coinage, has been circulating since 1932, honoring George Washington, the first president of the United States. The design on the obverse features Washington's portrait, while the reverse showcases an eagle, symbols of strength, freedom, and the enduring nature of the country. Over the years, the design has been used for both regular circulation coins and special commemorative issues. But not all quarters are created equal, and certain years or types can be worth far more than their face value. And that includes the 1993 Washington quarter. So, why does the 1993 Washington quarter deserve your attention? Most of these coins, as you might expect, are worth exactly 25 cents. However, just like many other coins in the world of numismatics, certain examples of this quarter could be worth thousands, yes, thousands of dollars. Let's start by looking at what determines the value of a coin, especially a modern one like the 1993 Washington quarter. The first factor to consider is the condition of the coin. If you've ever wondered why some coins are worth so much more than others, it all comes down to how well they've been preserved. Coins that are in pristine condition, with no wear, scratches, or tarnish, are incredibly valuable to collectors. A 1993 Washington quarter that's been kept in perfect condition and hasn't seen much circulation can be worth far more than 25 cents. If you're lucky enough to come across a 1993 quarter that looks like it just came off the minting press, you could be holding on to something very valuable. But it's not just about condition. The next big factor in the value of your 1993 quarter is whether or not it has a minting error. Minting errors are exactly what they sound like: mistakes made during the coin production process. These errors can range from something subtle, like a slight misalignment, to something more obvious, like a double die or a coin that's been struck off-center. Mint errors are extremely rare and make a coin unique. Collectors love these mistakes, and they can drastically increase a coin's value. If your 1993 Washington quarter has an unusual flaw or an error in its design, it could be worth far more than face value. Another factor that can make the 1993 Washington quarter more valuable is the coin's rarity. While millions of these coins were minted, certain coins have qualities that make them rarer than others. For example, quarters that were minted in limited quantities for special proof sets, or those produced in certain mints, can be worth more. The U.S. Mint produces quarters in multiple locations across the country, and each mint is identified by a small letter on the coin: D for Denver and P for Philadelphia. Though the mint mark itself doesn't necessarily guarantee a higher price, it can help to determine the rarity of a particular coin. Proof coins, for example, which are specially struck for collectors, are usually worth more because they are produced in limited runs and have a more polished, mirror-like finish. The 1993 Washington quarter was produced in large quantities, but certain versions of this coin can be worth significantly more, especially if it has special features like minting errors, pristine condition, or if it's part of a limited edition set. Now, here's where things get really exciting. If you've got a 1993 Washington quarter that meets all of the criteria, excellent condition, a minting error, or any rare traits, you could be looking at a coin worth a lot more than you'd think. Some of these quarters have been known to fetch prices that will blow your mind. The right 1993 quarter, in exceptional condition or with the right error, has been sold for a whopping $38,000. Yes, you read that correctly, $38,000 for a single 1993 quarter. While not every quarter from this year will reach that kind of value, there are definitely rare examples that have fetched incredible prices. So, what does this mean for you? If you're sorting through your change, or you happen to have a 1993 Washington quarter lying around, it's worth taking a closer look. Here are a few things you should check for. First, examine the condition of the coin. If it looks well worn with scratches, discoloration, or signs of circulation, it will be worth less than a coin that looks brand new. However, if the coin is shiny, sharp, and looks like it just came from the mint, you might have something special on your hands. Next, look for minting errors. These are the true treasures of the numismatic world. Even a small error like an off-center strike or a double die can significantly increase a coin's value. If you notice any unusual markings, or the design appears doubled, misaligned, or has some other imperfection, you could be looking at a rare coin. Lastly, check the mint mark. A 1993 quarter with the P mint mark from Philadelphia is more common, but if it has a D mint mark from Denver, or is part of a special proof set, it might be rarer and more valuable. To really know how much your 1993 Washington quarter is worth, you should have it professionally graded. Coin grading is an essential part of the collecting process. Grading services evaluate a coin's condition, rarity, and authenticity to determine its market value. Getting your coin graded by a professional ensures that you know exactly what you have and helps you avoid any mistakes when selling it.in. Conclusion. While the 1993 Washington quarter might seem like just another everyday coin, certain examples of this coin are worth far more than the typical 25 cents. Coins in pristine condition, with minting errors, or produced in limited numbers, can be worth thousands. In fact, a 1993 Washington quarter has been sold for as much as $38,000. So, the next time you come across a 1993 quarter, don't just pass it by, take a closer look. Who knows? You might be holding onto a rare gem that could be worth a fortune. Top 2. We're diving into the Washington quarter dollar from 1984. Yes, a coin you've probably seen a million times in your spare change, but you may not realize how much value could be hidden within this seemingly ordinary quarter. Stick with us, and we'll reveal why some of these 1984 quarters are worth a shocking amount of money. Let's start by giving you a quick refresher on the Washington quarter itself. This coin has been in circulation since 1932, and it features the iconic portrait of George Washington, the first president of the United States, on the front. The reverse side of the coin has a simple but meaningful design, an eagle symbolizing freedom and strength. For decades, this coin has been one of the most recognized and commonly used U.S. coins. Now, you might be wondering, what makes the 1984 Washington quarter worth anything beyond its usual 25-cent face value? After all, it's a modern coin, and millions of them were minted that year. Well, as with any coin, its value isn't just determined by the year it was made or the design itself. There are several factors at play. The condition of the coin, any minting errors, and how rare it is in the grand scheme of things all play a huge role in determining a coin's worth. And, believe it or not, certain 1984 Washington quarters are worth a lot more than just 25 cents. Let's talk about condition first. This is where you'll want to pay close attention. The value of a coin increases dramatically if it is in uncirculated or near-perfect condition. You see, most quarters that circulate through the country get dinged up, scratched, and worn down. However, if a 1984 Washington quarter has somehow remained in pristine condition, perhaps it was tucked away in a drawer or a coin collection, it could be worth significantly more than its face value. Coins in perfect condition are always more desirable to collectors, and they can often command higher prices when put up for sale. But there's more to it than just the coin's condition. Minting errors are another huge factor when it comes to coin value. Minting errors happen when something goes wrong during the production process, creating a coin that is unique, sometimes rare, and often highly sought after by collectors. A small error can turn an ordinary coin into something extraordinary. With the 1984 Washington quarter, some rare minting errors can cause a regular quarter to be worth thousands of dollars. Some of the most sought-after minting errors to look for include coins with double strikes, off-center strikes, or even coins with incomplete designs. For example, if a 1984 Washington quarter is off-center, meaning it wasn't properly aligned during the minting process, it could have a slightly shifted design. This misalignment could make it a rare collector's item, and these types of minting errors are what drive up the price. Similarly, a coin that has a double die, where the design is imprinted twice, could also command a higher value. These errors are incredibly rare, and finding a 1984 Washington quarter with any type of minting flaw can make it much more valuable than you might think. Another thing to keep in mind is the coin's rarity. While the 1984 Washington quarter wasn't produced in limited numbers, certain variants of the coin may still be rarer than others. For instance, certain 1984 quarters that were minted at specific U.S. mint facilities, such as the Denver or San Francisco Mint, might be harder to come by than others. Additionally, Proof coins produced for collectors that year are much rarer and typically feature a mirror-like finish and sharper details than regular circulation coins. These proof coins are typically produced in limited runs, and their unique finish makes them more desirable to collectors. So, why should you care about a simple quarter from 1984? Well, the truth is that some of these coins have been sold for shocking amounts of money. A quarter that might look like any other in your pocket could, under the right conditions, be worth thousands of dollars. Imagine holding a 1984 Washington quarter that has an off-center strike or a unique minting error. If that's the case, you could be looking at a coin worth far more than just 25 cents. Now, for the moment you've been waiting for. The value of the 1984 Washington quarter can vary widely, but in certain cases, these coins have been sold for an incredible price. One of these rare, error-free, mint-condition coins has been known to fetch as much as $58,000. Yes, you read that correctly, $58,000 for a 1984 quarter. While this is certainly an outlier, it just goes to show how valuable certain coins can become when they're in perfect condition or have an error that makes them unique. So, how do you know if you have a hidden gem on your hands? First, inspect the condition of your 1984 Washington quarter. Is it shiny and brand new, with no visible wear? If so, it could be worth more than face value. Next, look carefully for any minting errors. If your quarter is off-center or has a double strike, you might have a rare coin that's highly desirable to collectors. Finally, if your coin is part of a limited edition or a proof set, it could be worth more as well. To truly understand what your coin is worth, it's always a good idea to have it professionally graded. A professional coin grading service can assess its condition, check for any errors, and provide you with an accurate estimate of its value. Once graded, you'll have a clear idea of whether your 1984 Washington quarter is worth a few cents or thousands of dollars. In conclusion, while the 1984 Washington quarter might look like a run-of-the-mill coin, certain examples of this quarter can be worth far more than just 25 cents. Coins in excellent condition, with rare minting errors or unique features, can fetch tens of thousands of dollars. In fact, a 1984 Washington quarter has been known to sell for as much as $58,000. So, if you've got a 1984 quarter lying around, it's definitely worth taking a second look. It could just be the hidden treasure you've been waiting for. Happy collecting, and who knows, maybe you'll find your own 1984 Washington quarter worth a small fortune. Top 3. We're focusing on the 1997 Washington quarter, a coin that might seem common at first glance, but could be worth much more than you think. Yes, you heard that right. That ordinary 25-cent piece could potentially be worth thousands of dollars if you know what to look for. So, let's take a deep dive into the Washington quarter from 1997 and see what makes this coin so special. Now, if you're familiar with the Washington quarter, you know that it's been in circulation since 1932. This iconic coin features the portrait of George Washington, the first president of the United States, on the front. On the reverse side, we see the majestic bald eagle, symbolizing freedom and the strength of the United States. The design itself has remained largely unchanged for decades, and it's one of the most recognized coins in the world. But here's the thing. While many 1997 Washington quarters are just like any other quarter you'll find in your spare change, some of them carry hidden value. That's right, a few special 1997 quarters could be worth far more than their face value. And if you're lucky enough to come across one, you could be holding a small fortune in your hand. So, what exactly makes the 1997 Washington quarter so valuable? Let's break it down. The first thing to consider when evaluating the worth of a coin is its condition. In the world of coin collecting, the term condition refers to how well the coin has been preserved over time. Most coins that have been circulating through the economy for years will show signs of wear, scratches, dents, or discoloration. The more worn a coin is, the less valuable it tends to be. But if you happen to have a 1997 Washington quarter that has been carefully stored and has not been in circulation much, you're looking at a coin in near-perfect condition. The less wear and tear a coin has, the higher its value to collectors. Coins that are in mint or uncirculated condition are always in high demand, and they can fetch a premium price on the market. But it's not just about condition. Another factor that can dramatically increase the value of a coin is the presence of minting errors. Minting errors occur when something goes wrong during the production process, causing the coin to have a flaw. These errors can range from subtle variations, like slight misalignments, to more noticeable mistakes, like doubled strikes or off-center coins. Minting errors are extremely rare, and collectors are always on the lookout for them because they make a coin unique and much more valuable. If you have a 1997 Washington quarter with an error, it could be worth thousands of dollars, far beyond its normal face value. Some of the most sought-after minting errors include off-center strikes, where the coin isn't aligned properly during the minting process, or double dies, where the design is struck twice. If you spot any unusual features on your 1997 quarter, like a distorted design, doubling, or a misaligned image, you might just have a mint error coin in your hands. These types of errors are much rarer than regular quarters, and that rarity makes them highly desirable to collectors. Another thing that adds value to a 1997 Washington quarter is its rarity in terms of mintage. While the 1997 quarter was produced in relatively large numbers, certain versions of the coin may be rarer than others. For example, if the quarter was minted at a particular U.S. mint facility, or if it was part of a limited edition set, it could be harder to find. The U.S. Mint produces coins at different facilities, including the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints. Each of these facilities uses a unique mint mark, which is often an important factor in determining the coin's value. Coins from certain mints can sometimes be rarer and more collectible, so it's worth checking your 1997 Washington quarter to see where it was produced. And here's where it gets really interesting. A typical 1997 Washington quarter, even in great condition, might not be worth much more than its face value of 25 cents. However, if you have a rare version with a minting error, or if it was produced as part of a limited edition proof set, you could be looking at a far higher value. In fact, rare, high-quality 1997 Washington quarters have been known to sell for as much as $22,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $22,000 for a single 1997 Washington quarter. Now, that doesn't mean that every 1997 quarter is worth that kind of money. Most of them are still worth just 25 cents. But if your coin has the right combination of factors, such as being in uncirculated condition, having a minting error, or being part of a limited edition, it could be worth a significant amount more. If you think you've found something special, it's always a good idea to have the coin professionally graded. Coin grading is the process of assessing a coin's condition, rarity, and overall value. A professional grading service will be able to tell you exactly how much your 1997 Washington quarter is worth. So, let's recap. A 1997 Washington quarter might look like just another coin in your spare change, but depending on its condition, any minting errors, and its rarity, it could be worth far more than you'd expect. Coins in excellent condition, those with minting errors, and rare versions from specific mints can command a much higher price. In fact, some of these 1997 quarters have sold for as much as $22,000, an incredible amount for such a small coin. If you've got a 1997 Washington quarter, or if you're out there hunting for coins, take a closer look. Inspect the condition, check for any errors, and see where it was minted. You never know. You could have a rare, valuable coin on your hands without even realizing it. Happy hunting, and who knows, maybe you'll find your own treasure worth a small fortune. Top 4. We're going to talk about the 1996 Washington quarter dollar, a coin that may seem like any other quarter at first glance, but there's more to it than meets the eye. The Washington quarter has been part of American coinage since 1932, and over the years, it has evolved with subtle changes, but the general design remains the same. Featuring George Washington on the obverse and a majestic eagle on the reverse, it's one of the most iconic and frequently used coins in the country. The 1996 Washington quarter might seem like just another coin you see circulating, but when you really dig into the details, you'll find that some of these coins can be worth far more than their face value. You may be holding on to a potential treasure without even realizing it. Let's start by talking about what makes the 1996 Washington quarter stand out. First off, it was part of a year when the U.S. Mint released several different versions of the coin. 1996 was a pivotal year for U.S. coinage, and collectors pay close attention to this particular year. So, why is the 1996 Washington quarter potentially worth a lot more than just 25 cents? Well, the main factors that contribute to a coin's value include its condition, any minting errors, and how rare it is compared to other coins produced in the same year. let's talk about condition first. As with any collectible item, the condition of the coin is critical. Most coins you find in your everyday change will have visible wear, scratches, scuffs, or even discoloration. But in the world of numismatics, the value of a coin increases exponentially if it's in near-perfect condition. That's why uncirculated coins, those that have barely touched circulation, are highly prized by collectors. If you happen to find a 1996 Washington quarter in pristine, uncirculated condition, you're already off to a good start. But it doesn't stop there. Another factor that can make the 1996 Washington quarter highly valuable is if it has a minting error. Mint errors happen when something goes wrong during the production process, whether it's a misalignment, a double strike, or some other anomaly. While mint errors are rare, they are incredibly sought after by collectors because they make a coin unique. If your 1996 Washington quarter has any kind of minting error, it could significantly increase its value. A double die, for example, where the design is imprinted twice, or an off-center strike, where the coin wasn't aligned properly during minting, could turn a run-of-the-mill quarter into a priceless collector's item. Additionally, the rarity of a coin is another key factor that affects its value. While millions of 1996 Washington quarters were minted, not all of them are created equal. Certain versions, like those produced in limited quantities or as part of a special proof set, are much rarer than the standard coins that went into general circulation. Proof coins, which are specially struck for collectors, often have a higher quality finish than coins mint for regular circulation. These proof coins tend to be produced in much smaller quantities, making them more valuable to collectors. Now, here's where it gets really exciting. If you find a 1996 Washington quarter that's in excellent condition, has a minting error, or was part of a special proof set, its value could be far more than what you might expect. In fact, some of these rare 1996 quarters have sold for incredible amounts. Can you guess how much one of these gems has been worth? Well, prepare yourself because a 1996 Washington quarter, in the right condition, with the right characteristics, has been known to fetch as much as $35,000. Yes, $35,000 for a single quarter from 1996. Now, before you start running to your coin jar, it's important to note that not every 1996 quarter is worth that much. In fact, most of them will still only be worth their face value of 25 cents. However, if you come across one that has been well preserved, or if it has any rare minting errors, you could be holding on to a true treasure. It's a good idea to keep your eyes peeled for any unusual features, like a double die or an off-center strike, and of course, check for mint marks and special editions that may indicate a rarer version. So, how can you tell if your 1996 Washington quarter is worth something more? Well, start by inspecting its condition. If it's worn down from years of circulation, it probably won't fetch a high price. But if it looks almost brand new, there's a chance it could be worth more. Look for any minting errors or design flaws. If you notice any doubling or misalignment in the design, you might have a rare error coin. Also, make sure to check where the coin was minted. Most 1996 quarters will either have a D mint mark from Denver or a P mint mark from Philadelphia. But if you have a proof coin or a special edition from the San Francisco Mint, those are much rarer. If you suspect that your 1996 Washington quarter could be valuable, the best thing to do is to have it professionally graded by a certified coin grading service. These experts can assess the coin's condition, check for errors, and determine its current market value. This will give you a clearer picture of how much your coin is really worth. In conclusion, while the 1996 Washington quarter may seem like just another coin in your pocket, it has the potential to be far more valuable. Coins in perfect condition, with minting errors, or those that are part of limited edition sets can be worth a fortune. In fact, a rare 1996 Washington quarter has been known to sell for as much as $35,000. If you've got one of these rare, high-quality quarters on your hands, you could be sitting on a small treasure trove. So, next time you come across a 1996 quarter, take a moment to inspect it carefully. You never know when you'll find your own coin worth a small fortune. Happy hunting and good luck! Top 5. We're diving into a coin that might look like just another quarter at first glance, but when you dig a little deeper, you'll see that the 1972 Washington quarter is a rare find with a potentially jaw-dropping value. If you're a collector or just someone looking to make sure you're not overlooking hidden treasures in your coin jar, This is the video you'll want to stick around for. Now, you might be wondering why all the excitement about the 1972 Washington quarter. After all, it's not exactly one of the more famous years in the world of U.S. coinage. But here's the thing. When it comes to rare coins, it's often the coins you least expect that carry the highest value. The Washington quarter itself has been a staple in U.S. currency since its introduction in 1932, featuring the likeness of George Washington on the obverse and a strong, noble eagle on the reverse. It's a simple design that has stood the test of time, and while millions of these quarters have been minted over the years, a select few have become highly prized among collectors. What makes the 1972 Washington quarter stand out? To understand that, we need to take a closer look at several key factors that determine a coin's value: condition, rarity, and any potential minting errors. In the case of the 1972 Washington quarter, these elements play a huge role in determining whether a coin is just worth 25 cents or if it could be worth thousands, or even tens of thousands, of dollars. Let's begin with condition. In the world of coin collecting, condition is everything. When we talk about a coin's condition, we're referring to how well it has been preserved over time. Most quarters that have been circulating in the economy for years end up getting scratched, dented, and worn down. After all, quarters are used in everyday transactions, which means they often show signs of heavy use. But the real value lies in those coins that have been well kept, maybe even tucked away in a drawer or hidden away in a coin collection. Coins that are in pristine condition, those that look nearly as good as the day they were minted, are far more valuable to collectors than their more worn counterparts. If you happen to find a 1972 Washington quarter that looks like it was barely touched by time, you've already got something special. But that's just the beginning. Let's move on to another crucial aspect: rarity. While millions of 1972 quarters were minted, not all of them are equal in terms of rarity. Some coins, especially those that were minted at specific U.S. mint facilities or during certain periods, are rarer than others. For example, while most quarters were minted at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, coins that came from the San Francisco mint or proof sets produced for collectors can be rarer and more sought after. So, if your 1972 Washington quarter has a S mint mark, indicating it was minted in San Francisco, or if it's part of a limited edition proof set, then you may have a highly desirable version of the coin. But there's another factor that could turn an ordinary 1972 Washington quarter into a true gem: minting errors. Now, minting errors are one of the most exciting things to look for when you're hunting through coins. These errors occur during the coin's production process, and they make the coin unique. Some of the most common minting errors include double strikes, where the design is imprinted twice, or off-center strikes, where the design is misaligned. Minting errors like these can turn a simple quarter into a rare and valuable collector's item. For example, a 1972 Washington quarter with a double die or an off-center strike could be worth a lot more than a regular quarter. These types of errors are extremely rare, and collectors will pay a premium for them. So, if you happen to come across a 1972 quarter that shows any unusual features, like an incomplete strike, a double image, or a design that's shifted, make sure you give it a closer look. It could be the hidden treasure you've been searching for. Now, let's get to the part you've all been waiting for. How much can these rare 1972 Washington quarters actually be worth? While the value of most 1972 quarters will be close to its face value of 25 cents, rare examples with unique characteristics, such as minting errors, impeccable condition, or those from limited runs, can fetch staggering prices. If you're lucky enough to find a 1972 Washington quarter that checks all the right boxes, perhaps it has a minting error, is in near-perfect condition, or is part of a limited edition, then you could be holding a coin worth tens of thousands of dollars. In fact, there are cases where these rare 1972 quarters have been sold for as much as $73,000. Yes, you heard that right, $73,000 for a single 1972 Washington quarter. Now, I know what you're thinking. How do I know if I've found one of these rare coins? Well, the first step is to closely examine your 1972 Washington quarter. Check for any signs of wear and tear, and if it's in excellent condition, you've already got something special. Next, carefully look for any minting errors. Is there any sign of a double strike, an off-center design, or anything that seems out of place? If so, you might just have a rare error coin. Lastly, Pay attention to the mint mark on the coin. A mint mark can tell you where the coin was made, and if it's from the San Francisco Mint or part of a proof set, it could be worth more. If you think you might have found a valuable 1972 Washington quarter, the best thing to do is to have it professionally graded. A certified coin grading service can assess the coin's condition and help determine its value based on its rarity and any minting errors it may have. Once your coin is graded, you'll know exactly how much it's worth and whether you're holding a hidden treasure. To wrap things up, while the 1972 Washington quarter may seem like a standard piece of U.S. currency, certain examples of this coin are worth a staggering amount of money. With the right combination of excellent condition, minting errors, or rarity, a 1972 Washington quarter could be worth as much as $73,000. So, the next time you find a 1972 Washington quarter, take a closer look. It could be the start of a very exciting and profitable coin collection. Happy hunting, everyone. Keep an eye on your coins, and you never know when you might strike it rich with a rare find.